Hey, it's Courier Girl, and I am sitting in traffic. Yay! So I'm going really slowly, so I thought I could make this video because sometimes I'm not going at all. And there's trucks around me, and they're loud, and my van's kind of loud, so hopefully the road noise is not so bad that you can't hear what I'm saying. So I just want to talk about the courier business today versus when I got into it a year and 9 months ago. And is it still a good thing? Is it still something that you want to do with your life? And I'm having trouble endorsing it as much as I did before. Like, I loved it. I still love courier driving. I still love the freedom, having the sky as my view, and the trees and even the cities and all of that. I love not being stuck in an office because I absolutely hated that. And I was done with the corporate world and the office and all that kind of stuff. But because of the economy and the squeeze they're putting on us for gas, cost of fuel keeps going up and up and up. I paid the most I've paid for it so far earlier today, which was $4.69 a gallon. I know in some parts of the country it's a lot more than that, but some parts are still a little bit less. And just yesterday I paid $4.19 a gallon. So that was a 50-cent jump in one day. And you always know when they're price fixing because every station in town will snap to the same price pretty much at the same time. So everywhere is $4.69, where before I could get it for $4.19, $4.29, $4.39, for $4.49. Now it's all $4.69. And this is on the Kentucky side. Once I go over the river to Ohio, it's going to be $4.79 or $4.89. And that's why I always fill up before I leave Kentucky. At least it's a little bit less. But if you are new and considering getting into the courier business today, I'd be like, I don't think so. Unless you have like a very fuel efficient, maybe a hybrid car, maybe even an electric car. I can't see, even though my gas gets good mileage, like I get 30 miles to the gallon. That's pretty good. But it's still killing me. I have one route where I am making less now because of the cost of fuel than I could make working at McDonald's, and that sucks. And I'm doing it still because I really like the people and I really like the route. But financially, I should probably not be doing it anymore. And so if you are in the courier business, or if you're thinking about getting into it, first of all, I wouldn't get in it right now. If you were going to do a little bit of like gig economy stuff on the weekends or on your downtime, that's fine, like a DoorDash or an Uber or something like that. But if you want to make this your main source of income, now is not a good time because gas is just going to keep going up. And I heard that the CEO of one of the major truck stops, either Pilot or Flying J, or maybe they're the same now, I'm not sure. But a friend of mine told me this morning that he said that they're starting to ration to the gas stations. Like, they're not going to be able to get the gas that they got, and he said they might cut it down by as much as 25%. Now, I haven't fact checked that. Once I get out of this traffic and get home, I'm going to look it up, and if I can find a link, I'll put it in the description for you. But think about where that's heading. If they start rationing gas, then you may not be able to fill up. You may not be able to do your route because you may not have the gas to do it. And that would be terrible. And that's going to hurt people all over the country. That's going to put a big squeeze on the transportation industry. If it's not even a matter of the price, but they can't even get the fuel, right? Because I'm not riding my bike, 300 miles every day just to deliver packages. And neither could you. So that's something to consider too, whether they start rationing. Back in the 1970s, I remember, I was pretty young, but I can remember you could only get gas on odd days or even days depending on your license plate number. And fuel prices went way up for that time, which was still, 50, 70 cents a gallon? Oh my gosh, that's so cheap in today's world, but that was expensive for back then. And I remember my mom saying, if gas hits $1 a gallon, I'm not going to go anywhere anymore. And look at it where it's at now, right? So I'm in a quandary because I love the courier business, but I don't love what's happening right now with the economy. So I'm looking for, personally, other things that don't require driving around, other income sources that don't require fuel and that don't require me staring at a computer or working fast food or a grocery store. So am I still going to do courier work? Yes, I'm going to do it as long as I can, but I gotta cover my bases, hedge my bets, and have a backup plan for if I can't do it, either because I can't afford to anymore, I can't get the fuel anymore, or who knows what's going to happen. And another thing that I wanted to talk about real quick was the transportation industry. So, you and I, we're independent couriers. So we got to go to the gas station, the retail gas station, to get gas. But UPS, FedEx, all of those types of logistics companies, they're getting gas at wholesale costs and they're filling up at their hub. Every once in a while you'll see one of those kinds of trucks at a gas station, but it's rare because they're getting way cheaper gas and their drivers aren't paying for it. Of course, the company is. But even you can look on UPS website, and they've been charging anywhere from 15 to 20% surcharge, and it's probably just going to go up based on the price of gas that week. And I've got a route that hasn't given me any surcharge. Like, I'm still making what I was making 2 years ago, and I've asked twice for it and I haven't gotten it. And now I'm like considering, can I still do it, like I just said before? So keep in mind that we are not the same as the big, delivery carriers, because we are paying more. We're paying retail and they're paying wholesale for gas. And who knows, even at the pump, they may have special cards where they get some kind of rebates. I don't know that. I'm making that up. And trucking companies, they will have gas available at their hub maybe, but then when they're on the road, they have to pay at truck stops or regular gas. This would be company trucks, not owner-operators. Owner-operator semi-drivers are in the same boat that we are, except worse, because a lot of them are running diesel, not gas, and that's been $1 or more higher than even gas prices are. And they're going all over the country, some of them, so they could get hit with $7, $8 gas prices depending on where they're at. And that's making it very difficult for them to stay on the road too. So my friend Big D, you may subscribe to his channel, I'll put his link in the description also. He does expediting, and he was talking about this the other day. Is a good time to do expediting? And he's kind of the same mind that I am, that no, now is not a good time to do it because it's just too uncertain, too expensive, and not a really good deal for the drivers anymore. Now, having said all that, if you can find a good deal, and that's one of the reasons I continue to do these job search videos. So if you can negotiate well, you can find a good deal, you can find good companies, and they are willing to pay you and compensate you for the extra fuel, and some of the companies that I work with do that, then I think it's still worth looking at. But I think those are going to be harder to get, and you're going to have to be a better driver. And what's going to happen is companies that aren't willing to compensate people at first, all the good drivers are going to leave, and they're just going to have the kind of crappy drivers that are unreliable. And then even those people will leave, and they'll have trouble getting any drivers. And when that happens, I think all of a sudden you'll see people start offering more, but we're not there yet. At least the companies that I work with aren't there yet. I would love to know what the companies that you work with are like. So yeah, so that's it for now. Looks like traffic's clearing up ahead, so I'm going to stop recording, and plus it's raining harder and you can probably hear that. And I just wanted to kind of share my thoughts on that. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, and I'll see you on the road.